here at the Ichetucknee Springs State Park. I grew up a few miles from here, and this is where I learned to love and appreciate wildlife. This is Ichetucknee Springs, the headwaters for the Ichetucknee River, also known as the Itch. This spring, along with 8 other named springs, pour about 200 million gallons of water a day down the Ichetucknee River about 6 miles until it meets the Santa Fe. The waters rise from the Florida aquifer at a cool 72 degrees, 365 days a year. The river flows through a variety of ecosystems, hardwood forest, open wetland areas, and it is a haven for wildlife. When most people think of Florida, they think of Disney World or beaches, but this is old Florida. The area is rich in history. The Spaniards built a mission here in the early 17th century. Ponce de Leon thought the Itch was the fountain of youth he was looking for, and Seminole Indian tribes settled along the banks. In the early 1970s, the state designated the Itch as a state park, and it's one of the crown jewels in the Florida state park system. The river is monitored closely to better understand what effects of nearby development, agriculture, and industry have on the river, and steps they have taken to protect the river have been successful, and it's teeming with wildlife. The landscape of the river is constantly changing. Each season brings different blossoms, wildlife, and food supplies. In addition to migrating wildlife, the river's current helps the migration of vegetation, like this large island of watercress and tick-seed sunflowers. The turtles don't even seem to notice, do they? And speaking of turtles, there are countless turtles on this river, along with other animals such as deer, beaver, otter, raccoons, and of course the occasional snake. Although we didn't see them on this trip, manatee are frequent visitors to the Itch, and in the past we've been lucky enough to see families like mamas and their babies. And of course the birding is spectacular. There's a large variety of wading birds, waterfowl, and raptors. And although the limpkin used to be a rare sighting, their numbers are increasing. They're large brown birds about the size of a great blue heron, and they can be quite vocal. They've discovered the abundance of apple snails, their favorite food, in the river, and snail eggs can be seen on almost any vertical surface, so it looks like there'll be a healthy supply of limpkin food for some time to come. Osprey, sometimes called the fish hawk, also enjoys eating at the Itch. I'm sure the crystal clear waters make it easy for the osprey to find food. Although this osprey comes up empty-handed, watch as he dives into the cool waters, and as he emerges and flies off, you can see him try to shake off some of the water in flight. Another bird who likes to fish is the cormorant, seen here drying off after lunch, I guess. There are 6 or 7 different woodpeckers here, from the large pileated to the small downy. There are wood stork, which are definitely prettier in flight than they are perched, and ibis are everywhere, as are egrets. There are also many wood ducks, but they're pretty skittish and it's hard to get a good long look at one, but when you do, it's worth the effort. The males look almost fake with their beautiful coloring, and the females, although less colorful, are easily identified with a large white patch around their eyes. Red-shouldered hawks are numerous, along with wild turkeys and turkey vultures. The hardwood forest has a variety of trees, but the most prevalent by far is the bald cypress, and some of them are huge. And the bald cypress knees are everywhere. And although no one actually understands what the purpose the cypress knees serve, it looks like this little turtle's got it figured out, doesn't it? And wildlife encounters don't end at sundown. At night, one of our favorite pastimes is listening to the barred owls calling to each other. We saw this owl in the afternoon, but we recorded these calls one night. In my opinion, kayaking is the best way to explore this river or other creeks and rivers of this size. Point your boat downstream so there's not a lot of paddling, and you can move very quietly on the river. Most of the wildlife on the Itch are accustomed to seeing humans, so unless you get too close, they'll pretty much ignore you. It's a far cry from whitewater kayaking, when you're more concerned about keeping your boat upright than viewing wildlife. During the summer, a lot of people come to tube on the river, so the best time to view wildlife is in the off-season, September through May. Here at Smell Like Dirt, we talk a lot about what you can do in your backyard to get wildlife to come and visit. And although we love having wildlife come and visit us in our own homes, it's nice to get out in nature and see wildlife in their homes. You can learn a lot about the needs of wildlife by observing them in their natural surroundings, and it helps foster an appreciation of how important it is that we save habitat like this. We hope this has inspired you to go out and visit some wildlife in their natural habitat. On your next vacation, instead of an amusement park, consider coming down here to the Ichetucknee Springs State Park or visiting a state or national park near you. Thank you for joining us. My name is Carol Bowie Jackson, and here's hoping you smell like dirt.